Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 614 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host. I have returned. I am back. I am Christian Piles, back from the road. Joined, as always, by two industry leaders. Steve and Kyle Brackey, who is dressed preposterously in a hockey jersey.
Preposterous. It's a hockey sweater Tuesday, guys.
He's in... it was weird. I just turned and Ben, it is weird. And then we got this guy in the back, Ollie Stone. He's wearing one too. These guys just roll up.
Hockey Sweater Tuesday.
They invented a thing called Hockey Sweater Tuesday just so they could wear these preposterous things and not feel strange. But listen, I'm on to their gimmick. They just wanted to wear them. And the only thing Brackey has going for him is that's the old school Buffalo Gap colors. Shout out to them. Placing all five guys at the big dance.
Hey, I'm kind of offended. You guys were just going to start the show without me because I was looking at my guy Walker Brown's GoFundMe, and I thought I closed the GoFundMe, but no, I didn't. I closed the VMix, and I come back on, and you guys are just starting the show without me.
We couldn't. When we started the countdown, I didn't realize you were gone because it was a time when nobody talks. So, and you're back here. It's fine.
Well, Tyler was like, all right, everybody be quiet. We're starting the show. And then, right as he started the countdown, you just heard this noise from you. I don't know what it sounded like. You just heard
haircut Ben.
There we go. I got my haircut. Tremendous. 614 Columbus area code.
Okay, so
Ohio State, baby.
We have so dang much to talk about. It's insane. And being gone last week was highly unfortunate, but you guys did a great job. I was kind of frustrated at Ben. He was calling me out, saying I'm not showing up for work.
You're lucky you didn't get fired.
It was close. We gotta start with some Penn State
you're
stuff.
skipping something major. Does Kyle Brackey have running water yet or no?
Yeah, I do. You still have to boil it, but
it's really hard to drink that too. You tried? It's like burns. Yeah. Hopefully we will soon have water that we do not have to boil because it's sort of annoying. But I was very lucky because as soon as I got back, we had power, and then we had running water that night, and it's all gravy here in Austin. But we learned a valuable lesson, I hope. Not us. We didn't do anything wrong. But the state of Texas needs to get their stuff together. You can't have one little storm come in, 6 inches of snow, shut down the entire great state.
Not a good look. Soft.
Yeah.
Very soft look.
If the Ice Age hits, you guys are effed. You guys are all going to go extinct.
Okay. Well, you're already effed then because... I mean, what are you
going to do?
No,
we're prepared. We're cool up here. I got 74 inches of snow outside. We're good.
All right. Well, we're coming to Wisconsin, to Haunchyville.
All right. Fair enough.
AWA Haunchyville. Okay. So yeah, we got running water. So we can put a bow on that chapter in our lives.
Yes.
We survived Snowmageddon in Texas. Penn State's got their real team. They've got the full squad. They've got the team that we were talking about in the beginning of the year that we thought would give them their best chance to, push Iowa. Can they beat Iowa? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. But they're finally wrestling, I think, the right guy at 149, Bo Bartlett. I'm not entirely sure what the process is to get him to that starting spot were and why it kind of wasn't right away. But it happened, and... Now, I mean, he gives Sammy Sasso a really tough match. He gets the first takedown there. And how high he can finish, I'm not entirely sure at this point. But I look at the 149 landscape, and I think he fits in. And we're going to get into some tiers discussion again. But I think Bo has a couple things going for him because for an undersized guy. Because I think I watch him wrestle. Ben, I don't know your assessment of his size, but I thought he looked not significantly undersized, but definitely undersized in almost all his matches.
Yeah, I mean, that's about where I would go with it is. He's definitely not as big, but he doesn't look like, oh my God, that guy shouldn't be out on the mat type of small. I thought he was good. He wrestled the number one guy in the country. He was competitive. I kind of I don't even know if it was publicly or if it was maybe just in our text. I gave him a hard time for not getting off bottom until the very end. But you know what? When I think back about it, he did a solid job. It wasn't like he was on his belly the whole time getting worked over. He got to his feet a whole bunch of times. Yeah, I thought he looked really good. It is tough to tell exactly where he'll finish because Sammy Sasso is not, in my opinion, super distanced from a lot of other people in the field, right? So being close with him doesn't necessarily mean like you're going to be in the finals. For example, if someone were to come out and wrestle really close to Spencer Lee, you're like, oh, that guy's going to be in the finals. That's not quite the case with Sammy Sasso, but I was impressed.
Yeah, I was impressed as well. Now, a few things he has going for him for being an undersized guy. One thing, he's really fast. He's really quick to the leg. So if you're not going to be super big and strong, if you have that speed, that's going to help. I think he's pretty slick and technical. I think it's going to hurt him that he doesn't.
I would push back on the strong, Christian. I think he's kind of strong.
I think he's strong. I don't think he is going to be horsing guys around at this weight class. I don't think his strength it's not going to be a differentiator for him. I think he's going to have the necessary strength to compete, and then his speed is what's going to differentiate him, right? Okay. I think he is pretty slick. I don't think he has the top game that could really help him climb the rung or contend at the highest level. I don't think he can ride the best guys, and I think the elite riders are going to give him trouble. I think a Brock Mahler is a really tough matchup for him. I think Austin O'Connor is going to be a really, really tough matchup because he's not only is he big, strong, fast, he's kind of good everywhere. He makes some mistakes still. He's still you can see he's a true freshman. Some sort of careless things that can easily be cleaned up, but I think you take that. I think you take the upside that he brings. He gave. You can just comparatively, his performance for Sammy Sasso compared to Max Murin was way better. He was able to get a takedown.
Yeah, that's a bad one, Judge Max Murin on because someone did advise Max Murin that shooting a head inside single was a terrible idea. I don't know why no one advised him of that. But
okay, so one guy's getting better advice then. That's a differentiator.
Well, but
right?
That is. You're right, but Sammy Sasso is so specifically good in one area, and Max Murin, I have no idea why he decided to shoot a head inside single, not once but twice, especially when it almost ended up really badly for him the first time, and it ended up really, really badly for him the second time. I think Murin is.
What did you
shoot head? Well, hold on.
Bartlett took him down with a single.
Head inside single. Did he really?
It was like a spear single.
I think he finished through it really fast, though, up, right?
Yeah.
I think he kind of caught him off balance, and when he just darted in on that leg, Sammy just kind of crumbled. Yeah, almost like a double. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it wasn't, I guess it wasn't traditional head inside single. So I wouldn't count that performance against Max Murin. I think he would likely be closer against Sasso next time. But to what you were saying earlier, Mahler, O'Connor, there's a whole bunch of other guys.
Yeah.
Even Murin's, I would say, the favorite over Bo Bartlett at this point.
I think I think Murin is a tough matchup for Bo.
Yes. So, I think Bo Bartlett's their best choice. I don't know why it took him this long. Kayla's always got a plan, man. He had a plan. He lied to us about Mr. Daniel, and I don't know why he lied to us.
He's
back.
I don't know how to respond to that. But it's
what do you don't know how to respond? He lied to us. He said point blank he will not be wrestling this season. We just saw him last night. That ipso facto makes a lie.
Well, he did not say we will not see him. He said I do not expect to see him this year. I'm just saying he left himself. He didn't listen with the Suriano thing. He left himself no out. He said he's in the room wrestling right now. That's okay. That was dishonest. He had a snapped ankle. This case, you could say, I didn't expect. Oh, it was unexpected. Unexpected things happen. So he left himself that much. And I think he just uses, he doesn't want to give anything away ever. Now, what advantage is it to, are Mason Paris and Gable Stevenson and Anthony Cassiope going to train harder knowing that Kerkvliet's coming back? I don't understand what impact it has on being like, yeah, he might come back, he might not, we don't know. Or, yeah, we think he'll be back. But he thinks less information is out there is better for whatever reason.
Well, you can do that and not tell people not truths.
Yeah.
Coaches do that all the time.
Not truth.
Okay.
Not truths. What kind of soft cancel culture are we in right now? You can't say the word lies. Not truth.
Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and call a coach a liar.
I didn't call.
But
telling lies and being a liar are two separate things. They're not the same thing.
Okay.
I've never seen a coach twice just like completely say something that clearly wasn't going to happen with an injuries. I've seen coaches say, I'm not going to talk about it. James Franklin, the Penn State football coach, is notorious for being like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to talk about guys' injuries. Or just being like, we'll see, game time decision, like stuff like that. Like give it a Bill Belichick answer. But to just say like, we don't expect him back and he's downstairs in the room wrestling, I've never seen that.
Yeah. I do think that is sort of different and kind of a strange thing, but it is. When he said it at the time, I was surprised. And remember, we did the show afterwards. I was surprised because I was hearing the exact opposite. I was literally hearing the exact opposite out of people really close to the program. He's progressing. We could see him back, and we could see him back before Big Tens. That was the consistent message I was getting. And then right as I kept hearing that. Don't expect to see him this year.
I said it on the show that day. And then the news came out later today. I was like, oh, well, I look like an idiot.
No, you don't. No, we were right. I mean, it's like, that it's just misinformation or whatever it was.
He changed his mind.
He changed his mind.
That's all. He changed his mind. He thought one thing was going to happen, and he said maybe not. That's all. Changed his mind.
It happens. It happens exactly like
it's
that.
It's his prerogative, one has said before.
Yes, Bobby Brown, I believe that's his song.
And Brittany.
Oh, really?
Didn't she do a remix?
Spears?
I don't know, maybe.
Hey, not to get too distracted, Kyle, I found some good advice. I watched the Tiger Woods thing. It was tremendous. Thank you for telling me to watch it. And there's supposed to be a part 2 coming out, correct?
What?
I don't know about that. Did you watch 2 episodes?
No, I couldn't find the second episode. It led on to that there would be one more, and I couldn't find episode 2.
What? I wonder what Tiger Woods
there's an episode 2. It's already out. Where'd you watch it on?
It's definitely out there.
I'm not good with the TV. I use the TV like maybe once a week. I can't remember I think my wife was, maybe she was sleeping ready or something. I think she was sleeping. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this Tiger Woods thing Kyle was telling me about. And, dude, I had to search so long to find it. I finally found it.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, yes.
Episode 2 is the best one, the better one, too.
Well, I was looking forward to it, and I couldn't find it. Now I got to go have my wife help me.
Isn't it just called Tiger?
But hold on.
Yeah, it's called Tiger.
Yeah, it's called Tiger.
You had trouble finding Tiger?
Well, so listen, here's the deal. With TVs these days, I don't know about you guys, you can't just like turn on the TV and go watch some crap, right? You like go to TV and there's like, do I go to Netflix or Hulu or Prime Video or where the hell do I go on this thing? I don't know sometimes. So I click on the first one, I type in Tiger, nothing comes up. Okay, cool. I go to the next one, I type in Tiger, nothing comes up. Oh, dang. Okay, maybe we don't have it. I don't know. I go to, maybe Prime Video. I'm not sure. I type in Tiger. Ooh, this looks good. I watch Tiger. It says episode 1. So I'm like, okay, this is great. Where's episode 2? I don't know. I don't use a TV a lot. If it was on the internet, I'd probably be able to find it. I can't use the TV. Sorry.
It's on the internet, just so you know.
It's on the Prime thing. You should be able to find it on there. Have your wife help you tonight or something.
My wife will help me.
It's the better one of the 2.
Yeah. Well, did you? But hold on. I've got to push back even further, Ben. Not even on the location. You couldn't find the video. Fine. Okay. You're just entering that age of dad level where we just can't find
the
things.
TV.
My dad finds it better. My dad loved it.
Okay, but here's my issue. The episode 1 ends with a very clear cliffhanger of one of the ladies coming in. So it's very obvious that there's going to be another episode. So it's like
that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So you do.
Yeah, he was excited for the second one to come out.
Part 2 was. Yeah.
Oh,
when it came out.
Okay, got it. Yeah, it's out. It's out. Okay. So
when we have a less busy show, we should talk about it because I think it's really, really cool.
I want to talk about Earl Woods. We need to have a conversation about Earl Woods.
You know what? Sometimes I think, listen, okay, I'm going to give you one thing. So, like, sometimes I crap on over-invested parents, but you never really know their story, and it's hard to. But then when, like, the dude was Vietnam vet fighting on the front lines, it's hard to justify anything he does as extreme because he's like, he's obviously extreme parenting, but the man was freaking laying bombs in Vietnam. So how do you judge him after that? Like what he's seen as extreme is so far past what I've seen as extreme.
Yeah, but he definitely messed up Tiger big time. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's extreme, but yeah, I don't listen. There are many people that have had war experiences that would not parent their child that way. Many. So I'm not giving Earl a pass at all. I'm saying it explains it, but I'm not excusing it, right? But the point stands. Okay, so we have to also talk about a little further. What does it mean now that Kerkvliet's in the mix? He got 2 matches yesterday. For whatever reason, Maryland was acquiesced and gave Kerkvliet 2 guys to pin instead of just 1. And he looks about like the guy we've thought he would be. He looked healthy. He looked fast. Now, listen, I think he pinned 2 winless guys.
Correct.
So, it's all grain of salt. But he had a pretty similar performance against Yusuf Hamida, who we know is really good. So
and Demetrius Thomas, he looked great against him also.
Yeah, he killed him so fast. So, the question is now, all right, everything is, can this team push Iowa? That is the question. Is it now? And listen, I'm telling you, without this Penn State lineup, there is absolutely no team race. There is no team.
There's still not.
No. You say no? I say yes.
I say no.
I say there's a chance.
I say no way. I watched him Friday night, and Robbie Howard is going to struggle to All-American.
Absolutely
he's solid,
true. I think that's true.
But 57, he could be on the podium, but it won't be very high. 65 is unlikely to All-American, in my opinion. 97 is also unlikely to All-American, in my opinion. Friday night he got a pin, but that's just based on other matches. So they have 6 guys to beat Iowa's 10, because Iowa's going to probably score points at all 10 weights. Maybe they're a little lower at 2 of the weights, but they could also All-American at those 2 weights. And the problem is they don't have David Taylor, Ed Ruth, Bo Nickel, etc. And this crop, while they're very, very good, is not good like those guys were good.
Yeah, that's true. And that's going to be the big thing. There needs to be an element of regression on the Iowa. Well, listen, every year there's some things you can count on, right? Typically. Penn State, in general, raises their level at NCAAs and outperforms their seeds. They outperform how they've looked throughout most of the year. Most every other team, Iowa included, sees regression at the NCAA tournament. Okay? So you have an element of, this, right? They're getting a little bit closer. Then, if Iowa has a couple weights where you have guys that are seated in the top 4 or 5 that don't place, which happens every single year, and then you have maximum performance from Penn State, like we've seen them have in the past, I think it can get interesting, right? I'm not going to say Penn State's going to win. They're not my pick. I think if there was a duel championship, they have a great shot in a dual meet, which is ironic because it's not ironic, I guess, because I think Kale still probably would feel this way.
I don't know. Do they have a great shot at duel? Because they would have to. So they'd probably have to win those 6 weights that I mentioned, likely.
Yeah,
and
it's tough when Spencer's a guaranteed pin.
Exactly. But then, even 33, as good as they are, I pick RBY, but it's competitive. 41, as good as Nick Lee is, they have Jaden Ironman. It's also competitive. Mm-hmm. As good as Staroki is, hey, and we're starting to look a lot smarter. On that, because people were questioning us for a while, and now he's beat Labriola and not Labriola,
Massa
and
Romero.
Caleb
Romero back to back. He's looking pretty good. He would have to beat Kemmerer. Like those are not guaranteed wins by any sense of imagination.
Yeah, no, it's going to be tough, but I think Penn State can absolutely win 6 against Iowa. They can win 33, 41. They could win 49. Maybe there's a 20% chance of that. There's a chance at 57. No chance at 65. 74, 84, 97 heavy. Penn State could win all those weights. I don't think Jacob Warner
could win 97.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't.
Listen.
Ooh, that's a small chance, I think.
A small chance? How small?
Oh, well, let me just go check my old wrestle stat to make sure I'm not off. But I told you I was not super impressed with Michael Beard in the NLWC matches that I watched him in.
Didn't he wrestle Nate Jackson? one of those
I
matches?
don't remember that one. I remember he barely beat. It was maybe the Clarion kid.
Yeah, Bolsack.
Let's see. So he's 3-1. He pinned Hoffman. He beat Jerron Smith, Salemi from Wisconsin, and then he lost to Miles and me. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sold on him. I don't think he's got much of a shot. Maybe we'll say 10% against Warner.
10%?
Yeah,
I think that's so. If they wrestled 10 times,
Warner beat him in the old UWW cadets too.
Yeah, I saw that too. I think Jacob Warner has proven to be a far better freestyler than folk styler. Is that not true?
That's true.
Okay, and I would say folk style is probably Beard's best style. I think it's competitive. I'm glad we'll find out. Hopefully where they stack up. But I think I would say it's 60-40 Warner favorite there.
What?
Warner's
that close?
Warner's been in some really close matches this year. I think you've got to score points, right? And Warner is a reluctant attacker. Now, yeah. I think
he also doesn't give up easy points.
He does not, and I think it could be a scenario where Beard matches up terribly against Warner, in that he's going to shoot a lot, and Warner's got maybe the best go behinds at that weight, and he just runs behind like 3 or 4 times and
he got some heavy hips.
His hips are
heavy.
They got to be so heavy. I don't know what it
heavy.
is, but he just snaps dudes off when he sprawls.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm talking myself out of it a little bit. It could be a terrible matchup, but
wait, can I have a hot take here?
Fire them off. That's all. I've got like 3 going right now. You gotta start catching up.
Man, I feel like there's been, and Bracky's gonna be so pumped here. I feel like there's been this rise of the Big 12 197s.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, am I forgetting about these Big 10 guys and how good they are at 197? Or are these Big 12 guys really this good where you could see, maybe Schultz finishes high, but maybe Warner and Beard don't even All-American or are low All-Americans? That's kind of what I'm feeling like, but I feel like, then part of me feels like I could be way off.
I don't think that was way off at all. I think Big 12's awesome. No Adams, Tanner Sloan.
Tanner Sloan's having a great year.
Big time point scorer. I mean, this guy just scores a lot of points in his matches.
And he did kill Warner one time.
He did kill Warner on one occasion. Mr. Fast Twitch, AJ Ferrari. I feel like he's a little. With AJ, I think he's going to be in every match, but I think he is going to be against some of the better guys. He's going to have a hard time scoring. I mean, he has a hard time scoring on Woodley, right? To work to get that takedown is really tough. I feel like people are going to keep watching him. He's kind of he's not a one-trick pony, but he's kind of one note. It's kind of like one sort of thing. And you've alluded to this and alluded to it last week. Mm-hmm. But he's
also so disciplined on his defense.
Yes.
He doesn't do stupid things to kill himself, which is, as a freshman, not doing stupid stuff to hurt yourself. That's exceptional.
That's the thing. That's why he's going to be in every single match. I don't think there's anyone. Maybe Miles Amin could pick him apart. But even that, I don't think so. I don't think he gets picked apart. Now, Miles Amin's another topic we should get into because he did not look great in his debut at 197. And then I thought he looked awesome against Caffey. Did you watch this match, Ben?
Well, but Caffey came back. So Caffey, listen, I know you love to scramble. You got to move your feet a little bit. It was the first takedowns were just too easy. Cam, move your feet a little more. But Cam he got one takedown in the third period, and then I thought he should have got another one. He got a little greedy and went for the cradle.
Well, he had to.
Which would have made it, I think, a 10-8 match. Yeah, I mean, he kind of had to, right, because there was a short time. But I think he could have relatively easily had that takedown if he did not go for the cradle. It would have been 10-8 on the scoreboard at that time. So, not super close, but not also like, oh my gosh, he killed him. For the first 4 minutes, that was the case, and then the last 3 was different.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess we watched the same match, but I kind of saw it a little differently. I thought he just looked
How'd you see it?
I thought he looked totally in control. I thought it looked like he could kind of score. It looked almost like a freestyle match, just like get my takedowns. He was getting them with ease. And then at a certain point, he's like, all right, I have this match won. And I think he took his foot off the gas a little bit. I don't think he looked tired per se. I think he was like just a little more risk averse. And instead of fighting stuff hard, he turned down, which is maybe not the greatest signal. But how good he looked in the first, I don't know, I guess it was period and a half, really impressed me and made me think, okay, I've kind of been on Amin as the best guy at 197 for a bit, and I feel validated in that. Now we'll see what happens.
He's the best guy.
Okay,
for sure. You know what that was kind of match was kind of a little bit like another similar one to that was Aaron Brooks, Chris Weiler, where Weiler was just too heavy on the front foot, just like Caffey was, and the guys just kind of picked him apart a little bit on it.
Yeah. So I thought Miles Amin looked good. It was cool to see him back, in the mix for Michigan. I mean, at this point, can you expect? I don't expect to see Micic. I don't expect to see Soriano. I just think these guys are off in freestyle land doing their thing and not interested in wrestling.
What are they doing? It's so annoying.
Well, Soriano, I understand to a certain degree because it's like, well, I don't. To me, it makes sense for him to wrestle, but at least you could say, okay, trials are coming up. And you don't want to compete so close to that. You're feeling good. You're wrestling great. You just you just had a performance at France that put the entire country and maybe world on notice. Like, this is a guy who can contend at 57. First, Micic, I don't understand at all because he is not only on the team, he is qualified. So all he has to do is be ready for early August, right? So you wrestle at conferences, wrestle at NCAAs, and then you've got all the time in the world to be ready for Serbia because you're the man, you're qualified, you're going. But I think at this point, I don't know that you can expect to see him. Nothing definitive has been said.
For him not to compete. It's so silly.
Well, it really hurts. It really hurts Michigan. I mean, this is a guy. He could absolutely win. I mean, If sure. If Ben Askren can have the Beard Warner callback, I guess we can call back to the Micic Fix matches from 2014 or 15. But he was able to beat Dayton then, for what it's worth, and they both continued to be awesome from that point on. And I think he's obviously a tier 1 guy at 133. He's obviously a guy that could win 133. Dayton Fix would be my pick regardless. But they don't get those points, and Ragusin is not going to make up that difference.
I mean, they went from when we took Micic out, they were second in the tournament team rankings to 5th outside trophy.
Yeah.
So Ragusin, I heard someone alluding to the fact that maybe he's got a really hard time making 25, and that's why he's up at 33 now. What do you guys make of that?
So I think a couple things. One, he's definitely big for 25. There's no question about that. RTC Cup and talking with Coach Barnett, they understood he would be a big 25 this year. Mm-hmm. I view it a little differently. Him moving up, I think it just kind of optimizes. I think they think it optimizes their lineup to have him at 33 and get Medley at his natural weight. Medley is a more better size 25 than a 33, and then Ragusin could easily, I think, get up to 133. But what I think was maybe happening, because for the Penn State match, Ragusin weighed in at 129, which to me says he was trying to stay light enough to come down to 25 in the event of Micic's return. So I think they're caught in the middle, but I do think he'll go 33 if Micic doesn't come back. But I also think there's a lot here. I think he'd be better off at 25. I think he's really interesting at 25. No one's beaten Spencer, but I think he's interesting at 125. At 33, there's a big 4 there that I don't see him getting inside, and maybe he could be a top 10 dude, but I think he's a top 4-ish guy at 125.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Potentially.
Yeah. Micic, Soriano. Guys, you only get a couple more NCAA tournaments. Freaking show up already. Big Tens are only 2 weeks away. Buy your plane tickets. Where's it at again? I was confused. Last night I thought it was New Jersey. You told me it's at Penn State. Listen, buy your tickets to State College. It's tremendous in March. Go wrestle at the Big Tens. NCAA's in St. Louis. Go wrestle there. Make us all happy.
I mean, are we ever going to see him wrestle folk style again?
Yeah. I mean, if Miocic doesn't wrestle,
Either one of them.
If Miocic doesn't wrestle this year, why? I mean, how could you think he'd ever come back?
No.
It's a free year, and you've qualified already. You're not gonna wrestle now, and it's your team's window, right? This is.
Well, 2022 is in Detroit.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I think 20. Honestly, they may have missed their window too. Their window just it may be shut because Iowa's just too good these next 2 years.
Well, yeah, because when we were originally making our plan, the NCAA didn't have the shenanigans where everyone gets to come back because you think if Iowa didn't get a free year, Spencer DeSanto, Ironman, Marinelli, and Kemmer are done this year. Think of how many points that is.
It's at least 10. I said at least.
It could be more.
100.
It could be more. I'm just giving the baseline starting range. Yeah, it'll be tough for Michigan, but they're gonna be really good. They have some guys coming in, and yeah. Let's talk about our guy Carter Starocki, Ben. Which there's conflicting information here on how to say this man's name. I always thought it was Starocki.
I saw you and Shane Sparks fighting.
We're not fighting. Let it never be said. Don't try to tear this family apart, Ben.
Don't do that, Ben.
Yeah, that's not cool. But we both kind of went about the right way. Brock Haidt asked Carter at the PWC or Powerade and seemed to think he said that it was Starocki, but Penn State is saying it's Starocci, I think.
I thought they said it was Starocki.
No, there's a cha in there, so we gotta get definitive with this.
Cha?
There's a cha.
Some websites have pronunciation guides, so I'm gonna go to Penn State Wrestling.
They don't.
Listen
I'm on it right now.
The Penn State motto is the less information, the better. So even if not even alluding to the fact that Kerkvliet could be back is not an option, then pronunciations are out too.
They got his parents though.
Why do they even have a roster? They should just delete it. You don't know who's on their team.
Well, they like to list their entire roster as their potential 149 starters sometimes. They've been listing like 5 guys.
They did pare it down to 2 this week.
That was helpful.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna. Does anyone know what happened to Verclaren either? Because I assumed the starting battle would be between he and.
He did the senior night ceremonies last night.
Oh snap!
I don't know.
I'm curious. I'm interested about senior night because they're doing senior nights like for Oklahoma State, like Gear and Boo and I don't even want to say it, but Cade Brock. Oh, he came out on crutches, big old brace. He looked great. He had some killer sideburns.
His hair was awesome.
He looked like, I don't know what he looked like. He looked cool. But these guys all could be back next year.
Boo said he's not coming back.
Boo shouldn't be back. I mean, I want him back, but he's the injury thing. But Gear, I guess, is going to be.
I don't know. Maybe you do the ceremony if you're not sure, just in case you don't come back.
Yeah, perhaps. So
maybe he wanted 2 ceremonies.
Maybe he wanted. See, that's the thing.
He doubles up now.
2 ceremonies. That could
2
be
Christmases.
That could be fun. Double senior night, double the shine.
I don't want to get you guys distracted, but we were trying to talk about Starocki, then we talked about the lineup, then Verclaren, and that led us to Oklahoma State. Can we get back to Carter Starocki?
Listen, you took us from
any of those.
You took us from Iowa, Penn State to the Tiger Doc, so and your inability to find things on smart TVs. And Lord forbid we talk about the eligibility of All-American caliber wrestlers. I'm so sorry, Ben, but you're right. Keeping on track, Caleb Romero, Carter Starocki wrestled, and it was a really close match. It looked like Caleb Romero kind of had it. He was really close on a single. And I have a pet peeve, Ben, but I'm bad at wrestling.
Uh-oh.
And you happen to be really good. So there's a thing that happens in a lot of matches against with high caliber guys, and I don't understand it. Guys will get they'll get the single, and they'll get standing with it. And they get the foot right in the armpit, just like Coach taught you, and they get so excited because the foot's kind of close, and they dive down to the mat, and they lose it, and the guys square up, and they don't finish it. It drives me nuts every single time. Why do they do it, Ben? Why do they do it?
I have no idea.
Okay, so
diving
I'm not
to the
crazy.
other ankle. No, dive into the other ankle does not work a high percentage of the time. It is really small percentage. I guess the only caveat I would say there is some guys are so good at bouncing that they're really hard to make fall down.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, stick with it, try to make them fall down, unless it's a short time. Because I think going to that other ankle is really low percentage, and people do not get there very often. Any good wrestler can feel that out and either get longer, stretch, square up. There's a handful of things you can do at that point. So yeah, that's not good. What about the edge call though? When I don't know why, maybe Romero thought he could get a stall call, but he just kind of like dove at him, and Soroki hit the go behind, but they were both out of bounds for a portion of time, even though they weren't out of bounds at the end. So they gave the takedown initially, then came back and waved it off. I thought that was pretty crazy and a bad tactical error by Caleb Romero.
When he did that, I was like, I don't know why. I was like, he's losing this match. Like, not because the takedown gave out, because I thought they went out of bounds. I was like, that was just such a tactical blunder. I was like, he's kind of, I don't know if he's like really confident right now or something. I don't know. I just felt it. I was like, he's not going to win this match.
No, I agree. I felt that too.
And I thought that was.
Well, the other thing that's interesting, Christian, is both Massa and Romero. And I don't know why, because these guys are really high level. So I'm not trying, but there's something about, and this kind of could go to what you were just saying about where you saw something in him where you thought he was going to lose. They go to Granby's way too early, right? In the overtime period where they're trying to roll and do stuff. And it's like, dude, that just doesn't work that often. Every once in a while, it's the right choice, but not frequently. And, Caleb Romero, I think he tried his first Granby at 20 seconds left in the double OT. And then you have to start from scratch, because if they stop it, you're all the way on your belly.
You're flat.
And now you got to talk about going from your belly to an escape in 20 seconds. Dude, that's hard.
Yeah. When the game is just riding out, when that's the thing you're trying to do. It's really, really tough. Yeah, I thought, that was, and that's the thing. So for Kimmer, there's thinking about the match we need to see right now. There's a couple. Labriola is
a lot.
Labriola is kicking people's necks in currently. He looks awesome, and maybe we should say it right now. It's going to be a Kimmer Labriola file. That on paper is what looks like it's going to happen.
I'm not ready to rule out. We'll just say Carter, since we don't know how to say his last name. I'm not ready to rule him out at all.
Absolutely not.
That's going to be a semi,
You kind
right?
of just ruled him out, though.
I'm not ruling him out.
You kind of ruled him out right there.
Listen.
You just did.
Rewind back the tape.
He did that, right, Ben? He kind of ruled him out. He was like, Labriola,
definitely ruled him out.
Finals. He ruled him out.
I didn't invite you on here to be.
Hey. You said get on Ben. I got on Ben a little bit. He doesn't know how to find
TV
shows.
I see what's up here.
I gave him some, but hey, I got to stay honest. I got to stay true here.
I never said to get on Ben.
He said get on Ben.
That's 100% made up. Now listen, I said, I think I said what I think I said. Now my confidence is shaken. But what I mean is, I think on paper, the NCAA final and the Big Ten final we should expect is Kimmer Labriola. I think we should expect that. Those guys aren't losing to Donnell Washington or the like, right? Those guys are, I believe, superior.
Man, Donnell's he's been doing some really good things. But I got to assume, here's how the Big Ten's going to go. It's going to go Kemmer 1, Labriola 2, Soroki 3. So those two will wrestle in the semis. But then you go Massa and Romero 4-5. And so that's a really tough quarter. And then, that's a tough match against Kemmer. Oh, my gosh. And then what I just didn't think about is if Donnell is a 6, he's going to have Carter in the quarters too. Yep. Oh, yeah. So much fun. Let's go to State College.
Let's do it. But we can't. We're not allowed in. But we can watch. And here's another thing. Here's the thing for me.
Yeah. How much do you think Cale paid his athletic department to say no media in?
Yeah.
They're not even letting parents in.
Yeah.
What?
There's only going to be, maybe some parents. Still be some parents, right?
There's 500 people total, including the teams and wrestlers. All the teams I saw Gable and all them tweeting about it. Their parents can't come.
14 times 10 that's 140 wrestlers.
Yeah, but they got coaches. So let's just say let's just say coaches and trainers say 15 times 14. What's that?
I saw.
150.
I'm trying to think of
210.
who. I saw people tweeting about it this weekend.
15 times 14 is 210.
210.
How are we getting?
Yeah.
But yeah, how are you getting parents for all those people? It's
You
just gonna
couldn't
be-
have two for everyone because that would be more, correct?
Yeah.
Well, if you had 2 fans per person, that's 490. We're golden.
Hmm.
There we go.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Well, I guess you need referees. You need referees and table workers, so maybe not.
Oh yeah, you
Forgot
definitely
about
do.
those.
Yeah.
Parents are out. Yep. And
Trainers for every team.
Maybe they have parents working tables.
Parents were. Oh.
Parents
snap.
working tables. And now we're throwback. Great idea.
They definitely won't mess the clocks up.
They won't.
No bias.
They won't have any bias
No
at
bias.
all. They should be the refs actually. That'd be awesome.
There we go.
So now
You
here's
can have the non-wrestling wrestlers be the referees. So like, hey, 125s, you just got done. You're reffing 157s. Let's go.
Hey, here's another thing. Regarding 74 seeds, why shouldn't Labriola be the one? They had a duel, and Labriola made the walk. There was no Michael Kemmer. He
He
did not have his
Denver beat him
opportunity.
last year.
well, so he just gets to keep that win forever and be the 1 seed.
I'm cool with it.
What are you cool with?
With Labriola being the one.
Okay, cool. Then we're cool.
Yeah, I guess I could be cool. I mean, yeah, I don't feel too strongly either way. I think you got a good argument there. Labriola is currently 8-0.
I believe Kimmer's like 2-0.
No,
Yeah.
he's only wrestled 2 matches.
Well, Iowa hasn't wrestled in 2 weeks.
He's
Christian.
4-0. Sorry,
4-0.
4-0. I know he missed that first one. I guess I didn't realize they had wrestled that many already.
Yeah. So I mean,
What's crazy though is Labriola does not have wins over any of the other really high level Big Ten guys. He has wins over his highest one is Donnell Washington. So he hasn't wrestled any of the other guys. Carter, Romero,
Massa.
Kemmerer, Massa, none of those guys.
How did that happen? How did he wrestle none of those guys?
They had the 2-week break. They missed a bunch of the duels they were supposed to have.
Nebraska did?
Oh shoot, no, my bad.
Well, Patrick
know why I
Kennedy
was
wrestled
thinking-
for Kemmerer, so he would have wrestled Kemmerer in that.
I don't know why
That
I said
match.
Michigan there.
Yeah, I don't know how they didn't hit any of those
Weird.
teams. Well, he's supposed to wrestle Kimmer. Didn't get that. Michigan just wasn't on the
Just
schedule.
the weird Big Ten rotational thing, yeah.
And Ohio State wasn't on the schedule either.
Right.
Yeah, I would be good with him going number 1.
Yeah. It's
I can see it either way.
Also, what the heck do you do with heavyweight?
with Kerkvliet, he can't be seated high.
No, it's 2 wins
Yeah, but
over
where do you put
winless
him? That's a
wrestlers.
disaster.
Yeah, it's a disaster. It's so the Maryland guys would be like the 14th seed,
He'd
right?
be the 14 seed.
So if he's the 13, where does the 13 go in the bracket?
4,
Okay,
right? Yeah.
so he would be on the top side.
Man, that
Maybe
would be
Luff-
stupid to be the 4. He should
Maybe
not be the
against
13.
Luffman.
He is. You're kind of screwed. No matter where he goes, it's gonna be bad. Like it's not. In a perfect world, honestly, I think you want him in like the 4 quarter. I think that's the fairest thing. Like,
Why not on the bottom?
because I don't think there's a case for him to be above Mason or Cassiope. I mean, even though I think he beats Cassiope.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, perfect for me. We make him climb the ladder.
Yeah,
Put him at the 7. He's got to beat the 6, the 3, the 2, the 1 to win the tournament.
love it.
There we go.
Put him there.
That's a great idea, right?
I'm curious how the seating meeting there will be really interesting because I can imagine, if I'm Iowa, I don't want him anywhere near my quarter, right? So you're fighting to get him away
Yes.
from there. If you're
Not
Your
the 6
Mason-
of the 6. So it couldn't be. So that would be the 6, the 7, the 10. The
Yes.
6, 7, 10, 14.
Mhm.
6, 7, 10, 11, 14.
he won't be in 14.
So he
You
could
know
be 10 or
this.
11. That would.
I could see
Yeah,
that.
he could be the 10 or the 11. I
Outside
mean,
the top
Michigan's
8, the Big Ten is very bad at heavyweight.
Very
Double
bad.
that. So hey, let's all right. Thinking of Kerkvliet, and we all kind of think he's we can all say we think he's a top 3 guy, right? We feel comfortable saying that. Gable
I mean,
Mason.
honestly, seven or 8 is probably the most fair spot. So, okay, you have Gable, Mason, Cassiope, Luffman, Lance, Hilger. That's 6. Ohio State's guy would be number 7. So you put him at 8. I mean, who? Everyone else stinks. To what?
So
you
then he
guys
hits
said.
Mason
No
in the
one
quarter?
else- No. Who's gonna be 1? Gable's gonna be 1.
Right.
I said
So
put him at 8.
he'd hit Gable.
Oh, snap. Sorry.
I think 10,
Yeah.
10 would be a better spot because then 10 would go against 7 first round, 2 second round. Maybe the 11. 11 versus 6, and then 11 versus 6, and then
Yeah, that sounds better than the alternative.
yeah.
All right, now here's my question for you, Ben.
Okay.
I have an opinion, but yours is better
Uh-oh.
probably.
Let's hear.
So, who do you think Kerkvliet matches up better against, Mason or Gable?
That is a good question. The question I would want to, or the situation scenario I would want to see before I would make a decision on this, because I don't feel very confident, is how good is he on bottom? Because Mason Parris is a freaking hammer on top. Gable's not very good at top, right?
No.
And so, like, if bottom was a liability, it's not going to be exposed against Gable, most likely. He's probably not going to do anything on top. If you stink on bottom, Mason Parris is probably going to pin you because he's that good on top. And because of the way he wrestles, he's probably going to get one opportunity on top at some point during the match.
Yes.
So I would like to see him against someone that's relatively good on top before I would pick on one of those.
So I think he matches up better against Gable than Mason. I think.
Why do you think that?
Okay, a couple reasons. One, I think that Mason is a guy that is going to come at you for 7 minutes, and maybe Gable is that now. But in the past, we've seen Gable in big matches. He'll pick his spots and get his takedowns, but he's not going to turn it up for 7 minutes straight. I feel like Mason is probably going to do that. And I think that's not even factoring in the I could see Greg coming out and getting 2 takedowns quick on Mason. Mason gets away in his face, continues to attack, and then 7 minutes is a really long time. Plus, you factor in the fact that he's probably not been training full on because he's been dealing with an injury, etc.
Yeah.
I think that's going to make it tough. Whereas I think Kerkvliet and Gable, both those guys, ultra fast, super slick, technical guys that are going to, I think they would prefer to just pick their spots, get their takedowns, play a takedown battle game. I think Greg is going to be more in that match than he will against Mason. Now, and I think the leaps that we've seen Mason make are tremendous. And one thing, watching Mason, he's one of my favorite guys to watch in the country. He is so fun. He's so down. He is so, like, freak strong in some positions. He just does things like
seriously.
He did this one thing. Who was he wrestling? I can't even recall. Maybe it was Rebatero. But, like, he's, like, in a scramble or whatever, and he just, like, picks him up and, like, throws him over. Like, you know, it's, like, not an option for most wrestlers, but for him, he's so strong he can do it. But his double leg now, that he used to be, like, all that. He had the dump, and he had, like, kind of the long, slower kind of single where he'd get really extended and just be strong and finish. Now he's got this double that he's, like, firing off and finishing consistently that is, like, boom, straight in, head up, hips in, back straight, and, like, takes the guy over. Him having, like, that many different threats on his feet, he just looks so impressive to me this year. So I think he's the better matchup. Now, I'm not making a case for Mason over Gable. I still think it's Gable. I think it's Gable over all these guys. But I'm saying I think Kerkvliet matches up better against Gable than Mason. For those reasons.
I mean, you know what? When you're talking about that, it's like, what? I feel like maybe because he's injured or something, we haven't really seen him in too many battles. And, you know, you have to think kind of hard, and especially how many folk style battles have you seen him in where it's like a really tough, competitive, drawn out match? And I can't think of any. Can you? I mean, the Gable 3-2 in high school. What else?
Yeah, there's not many examples of that. That was like the one close match. Yeah.
So I think, I'm excited to see him at Big Tens because we haven't got to see him in a lot of high level folk style matches, and We'll probably get to see him in more high-level folk style matches in one weekend than we've got to see him in the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing.
Cody Arnold brought up a
Mhm.
good point regarding his seeding. Neville's just beat Orndorff, and if he's starting
yes.
over Neville's, he has an argument to be the 7.
I don't think I don't think that's right. I mean, I get the logic. The logic makes tons of sense. I just don't like the idea of, okay, he's the starter, therefore he gets that guy's wins. Because, okay, for example, I mean, I don't know. Because then you could just say, all right, Max Murin's out, and we're putting in this other 49. We get Max Murin's wins because we're Iowa, and he beat.
Well,
we could say he beat
okay.
him out. Well, I'm just saying he's 2-0. He beat 2 winless guys, so give me Max Murin's wins.
I guess you'd have to look at their credentials. He has a win over Luis Fernandez last year, who is a top 15 guy if the Ivies are in. I guess that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
Cornell is going to be good this year.
I know. Bummer. Daggone it. So yeah, that is. There are a few arguments to be made. Cody Arnold brings up a good point. I couldn't believe, dude. So Neville's beats Orndorff on senior night. They benched our man Gas Tank Gary permanently. I just
he
can't.
beat Neville's last year.
He beat Neville's. He beat Luffman. He beat another guy that
a bunch of everyone. He beat everyone.
He beat everyone. He won NCAAs last year, and they put him on the bench, Ben.
KB was ready to ride.
We got to go to Columbus.
And Tate Orndorff hasn't even been that good. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, Orndorff's almost a regression from what he was at Utah Valley. He's 4-5 on the year. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say there.
So who are all right, I know there's another guy he beat.
He beat Luis Fernandez too.
Oh my gosh. So he beat Luffman. There's someone else he beat that I think Orndorff lost to. Yes. Gaston Gary.
Well, so Orndorff has lost to, I mean, they're all relatively good. Luffman, Hilger, Cassiope, Paris, Neville's. He's lost to those 5. But he doesn't really have any good wins. His wins are Colucci, Ribitaro, Capez, however you say that, and then Floral. So not really any good wins for Orndorff. They should have thrown Gas Tank Gary in there.
I mean, on senior night in the Kerkvliet Center against a guy he's beaten in a match, in a duel you already lost? You already lost the duel. Duel's over. You can't win. So wrestle GTG, but no.
Yeah.
They benched our mans. He needs a transfer.
Some other school should recruit Gas Tank Gary. What school should recruit Gas Tank Gary for his extra year?
You know what stinks? He should have left this year. He should. As soon as I got Orndorff, we're like, okay, I'm taking the gas station elsewhere.
Yeah.
You should go to West Virginia, right, Bracky?
Yes.
What about Ohio U?
Absolutely. Ohio U, West Virginia, either one.
Oh, Joel Greenlee would have him at the top of the podium. He'd be beating Adam Kuhn, just like Jeremy Johnson.
Joel Greenlee has success with heavyweights that have a gas tank.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man. Well, it would have been great to see him. It's unfortunate. I know it's a little tongue-in-cheek with Gary, but I'm dead serious about the freaking senior night. That's no tongue-in-cheek.
I'm dead serious about him going somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. I'm dead serious about that, too.
Plenty of teams next year. He's probably
And I'm dead serious about West Virginia.
We all let it never be said.
Very close. West Virginia is very close to Ohio. I guess. Who's West Virginia's heavyweight, Kyle?
Michael Wolfgram. He's a freshman.
He's terrible.
He's been solid.
Whoa.
I mean, he's at Gas and Gary would absolutely be an upgrade.
Let me look.
Michael
And then you could have a young
doing
freshman
terrible.
learning from Gas Tank Gary the right ways.
That's a guy to learn from. You know, it's like you want your quarterback under the wing of a Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll never get to see the field. It'll be perfect.
He'll never start. It's like, it's better than Brett Favre, who just wouldn't help Aaron Rodgers. It was openly. But
hey, tough love, Piles. Don't talk bad about Brett Favre.
I know. I got 2 Favre homers here, but it's okay. Okay, so free Gas Tank Gary. I hope he wants to keep wrestling, and we get to see him in the lineup. And that would be great. All right, did we touch
next
on
year is literally going to be the toughest NCAA year ever because no one's going anywhere. They're all staying unless for some reason a whole bunch of guys decide like I'm done with this crap. I don't want to do my 6th year.
Well, there's another factor. I don't know. I feel like this year should be the toughest year because there's absolutely no reason to redshirt this year. There's reason to redshirt next year because it counts.
That's
right?
true.
So theoretically,
I feel it'll be weird. Like, don't you feel like it'll be kind of weird? Okay, so say, Keegan, right, or any one of my guys that's a true freshman this year.
Let's go.
They wrestled this year.
Mhm.
They are eligible for a redshirt next year, but don't you feel like it'll be weird to redshirt next year when you've already wrestled? Like that would be. I mean, you obviously could, but I feel like it'd be really strange.
Yeah, I'm curious how we'll see it handled. Because obviously the most common time to redshirt is your true freshman year, and you never know. But and next year is going to be tough. There's no question about it because you're just keeping a lot of the wrestlers, and we think we will keep a lot of the wrestlers, and then it should be tough. Okay, where do we want to go next?
The first conference pre-seeds came out yesterday.
Okay.
EIWA pre-seeds are out, Ben, and it does not appear they're changing allocations. You look at some of these weights, and they're really going to get some. They're really going to get some dudes.
What are they doing, guys? What are they doing? Why?
You missed
I mean,
this. You didn't get to.
I know.
Yeah, we raged. Christian, you want to rage for a few minutes because me and Kyle went off on this.
I mean,
you can go.
It's just so.
Let it out.
I don't know how to be even remotely diplomatic, but it's just like common sense is.
You don't
gone.
have
It's
to
like,
be.
Yeah, I know.
Go.
I know. It's just bad judgment. You have no ability. You just wanted to. They just took the easy way out. Just like have a formula. Tell it that won't be biased or that'll be. We can just that way. It's just leadership wanting to take their hands off of any accountability and say, well, we just came up with the formula and we just used the data and we let the data pick. It's like, no, you just ignored basic common sense and you rewarded some conferences that are just mired in mediocrity and don't even have teams that are earning allocations. Imagine, a scenario where Cornell and Princeton are earning allocations. That's like 18-ish. That's probably at least 15 allocations that should not be at the EIWAs. Okay?
Yeah.
You have programs that don't exist earning allocations.
They have 5, Christian. They have 5. 5 schools earning allocations that are not wrestling.
And then you throw in the few that Brown gets, the few that Columbia
Harvard.
and Penn,
I was just saying
Harvard.
2 teams right there instantly, 15.
Wait, that's 6. So that's 6.
I know, Ben, but not all. Ben.
He's just saying the majority come
That's
from
a lot of
Cornell,
allocations,
Princeton.
Christians. That's like 25 allocations they're getting. What are they doing?
Yeah. That's bad. But you've got programs that it's just a lack of leadership. We've seen it throughout NCAA wrestling at times. We've seen it with the seeding. We saw it, man, with Brian Realbuto and Ian Miller. I'm sorry, Ben. I know you love Brian, but that they just screwed that man.
Why
And they
did you bring that one up?
Why would I not bring that up? The NCAA, that committee.
We got all this stuff to complain about, and you bring up Brian Realbuto?
You go Budo on it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's your friend. You can say Real Budo. I thought it was Butte. I thought it was a Buto, but that's fine. I don't know how to say the name maybe. But that was an example. They voted. They said, this is cool. He had fewer points, but he wins because we don't want to change a result on the mat. So, yeah, we've seen it on occasion with NCAA. It's really, really bad. It's poor judgment, and I'm sure you guys already touched on it, so I won't go any further. But it stinks. There's going to be listen, you want the best 33 guys in. That's the point. That's the point. You want to close. Yeah, you're going to miss. So in some cases, the 35th guy is going to get in. The 32nd guy is not going to get in. Things like that happen. But you are going to have guys that absolutely do not belong in the tournament.
Like looking
EIWA is in shambles right now compared to what it normally is, and they're earning the regular amount of qualifiers.
Like looking at 184 pounds, for example, they get 6 auto qualifiers.
Oh no,
there's one guy in the top 25 right now, and that's the 1 seed, Lou Dupre. 174.
They get 6 at that weight.
And they get 6 at that weight. 174, they get 5. There's one ranked wrestler in the top 25 right now. And that's the 1 seed, Mike O'Malley.
EIWA is single-handedly going to make the NCAA brackets as weak as they've been in years. That's going to happen, Ben. They're going to make the brackets as weak as they've been. And there's going to be guys on the outside. There's no wiggle room with the auto spots. Right? There's no wiggle room.
I don't want to be Nick, but I'd never heard of Ross McFarland.
Yeah, Ben.
Don't hate on
Choosing-
Hofstra. Long Island. Long Island, stand up. We're coming.
I mean,
for
have
it.
you guys heard of him? Where did he wrestle high school? You guys haven't heard of him.
Somewhere in New York.
He's from New York. No, I have no idea where he's from. He could be related to Booger McFarland for all I know. That's possible. I don't know who he is.
41 getting 5 is not great.
His best win this year on WrestleStat is number 69, Brad Laughlin.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. The EIWA is. I'm sorry, EIWA. Listen, live on Flow, but it is this field. The EIWA is an awesome conference when it has its teams. You don't have your teams this year. Okay.
They're missing 17.
You're missing 7 teams.
7.
And guess
7.
what?
I said
You're
6.
missing the first and third best. Okay. Maybe second best. I don't know. Princeton this year probably beats
Princeton's good.
Lehigh, right? Yeah. That's probably you're missing your 2 best teams.
Lehigh very down, yes.
Lehigh's down this year.
We beat them last year though, right?
Yeah, but they're better. But Princeton would probably beat them this year.
They did, but if you look at Lehigh this year, they did get Jordan Wood back, but no Humphreys, no Brandon Patesel. I know I'm missing a few guys too. They have like 3 guys in the rankings.
No Darian Cruz.
No Darian Cruz.
No Brandon Hatchett.
No Ryan Price.
No Zach Ray. How long did we have to go? How many names? Did I have to pull out a Troy Letters to get him to laugh? My gosh.
Troy Letters was the man. If he would have had that damn neck injury, he would have whooped Johnny Hendricks. Johnny Hendricks never won NCAA title that year.
Okay. And they miss his ever since he graduated. It's been tougher there for him.
I wonder what Troy Letters is doing these days.
Mitch Minotti.
Mitch Minotti, that's a good one.
Yeah. Forget about him. NCAA semifinals.
Randy Cruz.
Luke
we
Karam.
play this game. You want to hear this game when
Luke
we're
Cameron
board
in the
driving
transfer portal, by
NCAAs?
the way.
Yep.
Hey, you want to hear this game? And listen, any of our listeners can steal this game. Christian, you want to hear it going to NCAAs?
Got it.
So car 4 dudes cruising NCAAs. You pick a category and you keep going around until you can't name someone in that category, and then the loser has to do a set of push-ups, and so you just keep accumulating. So it could be like NCAA qualifiers at 133, and you just got to keep naming them until you can't, or like people on the Iowa Hawkeye roster.
Okay.
Like the game.
I like
Or you
that.
could say former Lehigh All-Americans in your guys' case.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Okay. I don't know how long I could go. I could go for a little bit for there.
Daryl Burley.
I think I just played this game. I don't know.
Mike
That's what you guys
Caruso.
just did, yeah.
Mike Caruso. You
Yeah.
guys didn't name Mike Caruso.
We didn't. There were a few good ones in the chat. No John Tringe, no Corey Cooperman.
Yeah.
you
I'm
missed
sorry.
Cooperman.
I was trying to go a little more random with it.
Yeah, I thought you guys were going obscure. Those guys are kind of like big timers. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I did say Gordon Wolf, guys. I mean, I wasn't just exactly going Lehigh Legends only.
Wolf had fun matches though.
Wolf, he was a
He had
blast.
fun matches.
If you watch Gordon Wolf, you're like, that guy was fun to watch.
Big time.
He loves reversals. Just reversals. He loves getting reversed just to set up the re-reverse. Okay.
The long con.
That's the longest con of all. All right, so yeah, it's audacious, it's bad, and it's going to really jack up the brackets when you've got 6 184-pounders from the EIWA in there. And it's like, okay, yeah, some weak guys in there, but you have to look at who that's going to keep out.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that going to keep out? That's going to keep out some really good guys. Ollie's
Big
not going to do
12
anything
is
about it.
underallocated, and
I'm not doing a thing.
they should be all those. I'm sure they're not happy about it. So it's gonna.
I can't believe John Smith didn't get this changed. I feel like
Seriously.
He couldn't get the brackets changed a few years ago.
he
either.
tried.
Terrence
Listen,
Clendenin. Oh, that is a good one, Jason Bryan.
We're still going with the random
We're still
Lehigh.
going back to that, huh?
oh, let's
That
go.
was a good one.
I can honestly say I don't know who Terrence Clendenin is.
Nick Simmons choked him out in like the second round of the NCAA tournament, maybe in 2003.
Honestly,
or
that doesn't
4.
narrow it down much because there's a lot of guys he just strangled unconscious and then he pinned them.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Next up, I don't even know what we were freaking. Oh yeah, EIWA pre-seeds are out, so we'll see how that goes. That is on
Friday, 1-day tournament this
Ooh.
year. Since
What about
last
Matt
team.
Anderson? You remember how tall he was? He was like 6'5", 149.
Okay. Ooh, Max Wessel. What that dude
Ooh,
was
that's a good one.
He was a unit.
Nice.
What a beast. Doug Villaro. He's still wrestling in tiebreaker.
Hey, I
somewhere.
stated
He is wrestling in overtime somewhere right now.
I convinced the Villaro family to build a disc golf course on their property, and they did. And I also punched Doug Villaro in the nose and made him bleed when he was only 12.
Okay.
Why'd you
How
do
old
that?
were you?
Yeah.
Well, he had
I
to
was
be-
I was probably 19. Well, here's the problem.
12-year-olds for.
Well, here's the
Seems like
problem.
assault.
Yeah, it kind of seems messed
I don't
up.
think I can be charged for child abuse 15 years later, and the family loves me, so I think we're good. I would do a camp at their place like twice a year,
boxing camp.
and the problem was he was 230 pounds and he was only 12 years old, and I was a stupid college kid, and I let
Now
them
you're
convince
body
me
shaming
to-
him?
He was gigantic, and I convinced them, or they convinced me to box him, right? Which now, as a mature adult, I would never do. And then I'm like, okay, whatever, haha, he's 12. And then it's like, okay, this 230-pound kid is trying to beat the crap out of me. Okay, I should probably punch him. And then I punch him one time. And I'm like, oh God, now I just punched a 12-year-old. This is a really terrible idea. And then he's bleeding. Yeah, that was a terrible
Aren't you
idea.
boxing a 12-year-old in like a month?
Yeah.
I mean, he acts like a 12-year-old. He's got the intelligence of a 12-year-old. He's got the maturity of a 12-year-old. I don't think he's actually 12, though.
Okay. What? How's that going? By the way, are you really?
It's great.
We really want you to win.
K9
doing
is
really
just
well.
Let's go,
training him.
Ben.
Now, who's K9 though?
K9's fantastic. He was K9 won 2 world titles in boxing.
Okay, that sounds like a
Yeah.
good person to learn from.
His real name is Cornelius. But he said in the hood, you can't go around with the name Cornelius in the hood, so he changed his name to K9. And so I called him like, hey, what's up, Cornelius? He's like, no one calls me that, like my mom, and that's it. So I'm like, okay. So I called him K9 the rest of the week.
Man, imagine just being like, I'm K9 forever, and just people just being like, all right, cool, this is K9.
A badass nickname.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Nothing wrong with
That's
it.
good.
I mean, we don't really swear on here, Ollie, but go ahead, man. Just drop it.
They say it on TV.
No, I can swear, but these two, they're squares. They don't swear.
No, I know.
No F words, though, Ollie. F words will get you cut. You don't do that. That's what Sion does. That's why Sion's not allowed back on.
I'm an off-the-cuff guy. I was going to let it swing with the swears, but I've been censoring myself and trying to hold it back. But, I mean, come on, the A word.
Sion.
They say it in the Bible.
You know, that's referring to a donkey, but okay. Hey, listen, Sion doesn't get cut off just for the F words. Last time, Ben, you tried to cut his mic. You wanted him off because he was telling that insane story about there was prostitution involved, there was former wrestlers involved, and Ben said, cut him.
There were illegal acts.
Ben
Many
got
of them.
so freaked out. And
No, that was bad.
That was bad. I don't know if he's
Incriminating.
been on since then. Actually, now
Oh
that
my
I think
goodness.
about it, those were some wild times.
Oh, wow.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it was crazy. Okay,
Mario Stewart.
We're just screaming random
randomly
wrestlers.
high names.
You made me spill Topo Chico on me.
Oh man, Mario Stewart got him. Hey, Deacon is back. He absolutely destroyed Brayton Lee.
Oh, yeah. That was impressive.
Oh my gracious. And I'm going to say it again. Chris Cannon is the real deal. I don't know how good he is, but I happen to think he's really good. I know Boo Dryden is not Ethan Lezak, but I just think he looks really good. In the match itself, I watch Chris Cannon, I say this is someone that can place at the NCAA wrestling tournament, especially if the EIWA gets like 19 guys in.
I don't know why you got off of Ryan Deacon so fast. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
Ryan Deacon
Not off
freaking
him.
mauled Brayton Lee. Now, I've watched quite a few Brayton Lee matches. You guys have probably watched more. Has Brayton Lee ever been mauled like that in a folk style match? Because I think the answer is no.
I bet he has.
In folk style. Now,
I'm
I know
looking.
Sammy Sasso leg laced him one time in freestyle. But in a folk style match, I don't remember him getting his butt kicked like that ever.
No, you're right. 8-3 to Bulu Allen looks like the worst. He had his true freshman year, he had a 6-0 loss to David Carr. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't happen. Deacon, this looks like the class of 157.
Yeah.
I'm not entertaining. I don't know how great a shot even Hayden has against this guy. I mean,
I feel like not that good.
Don't you say it.
I'm sorry,
Dude,
Um,
Ryan Deacon's legit, like really, really good.
Here's my thing with Hayden. He can't score enough. He has not. He needs more leg attacks against someone to beat someone like Ryan Deacon. I don't know if he has them. For Deacon,
He has beaten Ryan Deacon before.
I know.
I know Deacon beat him the
know.
last time they wrestled.
I know that.
but
he can beat him. Listen, he can beat him. And the other thing it's going for, listen, Hayden Hidley pushed Jason Nolf in a way no one else pushed Jason Nolf. Basically,
That was wild.
He's awesome. And NCAA Hayden Hidley's a beast. He can beat him for sure. But the right Ryan Deacon, and that's the thing with Deacon. We've talked about throughout his career. It's like the variance in his performances we've seen on occasion make you. That's what leaves the conversation open for Hayden and maybe even a David Carr, who is the other thing. But there's no one outside of those three that I'm giving any shot to at 157. Is that fair?
Well, I forgot. I just went back. I forgot David Carr beat him at the U.S. Open or the Senior Nationals or whatever the heck you want to call it. So Deacon beat him, but he also lost to him.
Mm-hmm. Freestyle.
Yeah.
Deacon's a great freestyle.
It was freestyle.
Deacon's great at freestyle.
Deacon's usually really good in freestyle. Also made a Junior World team, made a U.S. Open finals.
Junior World silver.
Yeah. So I bet. So I would say, what was it? 2 years ago, I guess, when he lost to Caleb Young twice. I think for him, like the length of the season, and I don't know if it's making weight or injuries or whatever, I think it just accumulates. And obviously with this year, he's only had like 4 matches. So I think the fresher the Ryan Deacon, the better.
It's tough because we didn't get to see 157 play out last year, but he was undefeated and looked awesome. I mean, he did have a 3-2 with Justin Ruffin, but I mean, he was amazing at Big Tens.
Didn't he kill who did he wrestle at the CKLV? Was it he? I know all 3 of them were there. Hidley, Carr, and
he beat
Deacon.
Hayden in the finals.
6-2, and it was really convincing. Correct?
It was, yeah. Hayden wasn't really close to scoring, and then he beat Carr 9-3 there.
The guy, and Carr is the one that's going under the radar right now. He has gone. He's 12-0, and he's gone from 47% bonus last year to 83% this year. And I mean, he majored 14-1 over JQ's, 4-0 over Justin Thomas, who has a couple wins over Wyatt Sheets. He majored Jared Franek. He majored Cade Devos. He's taking a big jump.
And that dynamic is interesting because I can see Carr being the guy that can challenge Deacon the best, but I see Carr having a very tough time with Hayden once again.
Who's the next best guy in the Big 10 or the Big 12? Is it Franek? Is that the best guy he's going to see before Nationals?
Maybe Thomas.
Justin Thomas. He looked pretty good. So yeah,
Wow.
we're not there's gonna be so much unknown going into NCAAs. It's
Yes.
It's gonna be crazy. All right, so we talked about that, and Ben doesn't want to talk about Chris Cannon because he for some reason thinks Ryan Deacon is a bigger story just because
I'm sorry that I wanted to talk about Ryan Cannon beating Brayton Lee 12-0. I mean, we glanced over that in 12 seconds. It was it was impressive.
Yeah.
Well, the other one actually kind of if we were talking about Chris Cannon, we can go there. The one I was more thrown off by was McKee. I know he didn't handle DiAgostino. But I feel like I feel like DiAgostino really only had one good sequence in the match where he got the reversal and the back points.
Yeah.
Besides that, DiAgostino didn't do much, and McKee had just gotten killed by Barnett the week before. So I was a little bit, I don't want to say shocked, but I did not think that was going to be the result of the match.
McKee is another one of those guys with crazy variance, where he's just
huge.
He's pretty up and down, but what impressed me is like he was able to get to legs and finish on D'Agostino, and that is not easy to do, right?
Yes.
That impressed me. And he was very assertive. He kept his foot on the gas, and then eventually he locked up a cradle and pinned him, I believe. I thought McKee looked good, and I think that's just what we're going to get at
I think he got 6 points, though, there.
Okay.
Right?
I just remember the cradle, and I thought, but maybe I'm getting matches mixed up. But
I think, Cannon got a pin. But not
yes.
but not McKee.
Okay. So with McKee and Barnett and all those guys, I think you I still am like throw them in a hat, and I don't know how it's going to shake out. I don't. And we were going to get to tiers. We're not going to have time for that today. Hopefully, we can get to them tomorrow. I know I kind of said we were going to, but dude, there's too much to discuss. But yeah, I want to talk about 125 tiers because I think it's I think it's fascinating because I think there's so many guys that are really similar. But I do think there is some separation. But maybe you'll
Well, my man Barnett's going in a tier this time.
I don't think we didn't have him in any tier.
You did not have him in any tiers.
No, I kicked him out of tier 3.
The lowest tier. Yeah, you guys kicked him out of tier 3.
Yeah, I did because he didn't deserve to be there at the time, but he has wrestled his way into it.
Guess what? No, I have him in tier 4 right now. I still have Barnett in tier 4.
Let me look at your
What?
5 tiers.
I mean,
Yeah, he does. I'm looking at it.
He does. I'm
Looking right at it.
Yeah. All right, let's do 125 tiers. Forget it.
Okay, fine. Let's do it.
All right, tier 1 is actually tier Spencer. There's no tier 1. It's just tier Spencer. He's just by himself, and no one's allowed
Tier
to be near
Spencer.
him.
That's fair.
Agreed.
Okay, good.
But I have see. Here's the thing, and here's why tier 4 is sort of a little disingenuous with this one. But I have Latona and Camacho kind of on a little tier 2 island.
Wow, I don't think they've proved that. I disagree with that.
Okay, that's just maybe my bias, and you know what? Maybe Courtney
That's
belongs
biased
in that
for
tier.
sure.
Okay, it's biased, but maybe it's also my opinion. And yes, the whole thing's my bias. Yes, the entirety of the tiers are my bias in how I view the thing. That's exactly what they are. You have defined our tiers segment. Yes, this is my bias. I think those guys.
I would put Courtney in that tier.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know what? I'm making.
But,
Do
I
it.
mean,
Yeah,
and
I wanna see
even
it on
some
the
of
doc.
those. But
All
the
right,
problem
done.
is some of these Big Ten guys who've been beating each other up. Now listen, I've said I think Camacho and Latona are the second and third best, but Camacho's best win this year is Cody Russell, and his next best win after that is Caleb Smith. I mean, he just hasn't wrestled guys who are that good. So to say without the shadow of a doubt that he's that much better, putting him in a separate tier, I can't get with that. I can't get with it at all.
So you want a mega tier 2 with all these?
Oh,
dudes.
it's going to be gigantic.
I
I mean, Camacho's best. I'm
me.
sorry, Latona's best win after Camacho is a 3-2 win over Killian Cardinale. Like, how are you saying he's that? But if he goes 3-2 with Killian Cardinale, how are you going to say he's that much better than a bunch of these Big Ten guys?
I don't know why you hating on Killian Cardinale. That's maybe my first question.
He's just not that great. Let me see his record this year. Hold on. I can find Killian Cardinale's record. Killian Cardinale's record this year is 7-3. He has losses to Mason Nifi, Jake Ferry, and Sam Latona, 3-2.
Yeah,
Sounds close though.
sounds close.
The Navy loss is the only bad one.
Yeah.
Ferry's been in the bottom half of the rankings.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's.
But yeah, I mean, Big Ten, when you look at the Big Ten, they have a bunch of guys who've all beaten each other. But, I don't know. I feel like if you took them individually, if you said that Patrick McKee beat Jacob Camacho, that is, while I would pick Camacho as a favorite every single time, that's not that shocking. It's really not.
So I guess we could just make a mega tier of
Tier
Latona
2 is
Camacho.
this big at 125 is a disaster.
I don't know if it's a disaster, but it's a little tough to
disaster.
discern. It's tough to discern
Certified.
when they don't wrestle each other until NCAAs. But I'm basing it on the upside I see in the guys, the talent I believe they have. I think those guys are just a little bit better. Maybe they're not. Maybe Courtney, Teskey, Hildebrandt's an interesting one because Hildebrandt's undefeated. Courtney's undefeated.
Teskey has one loss to Courtney, and it was 5-3.
5-3. But I do think there's some separation. I don't know.
It's tough. Hey, Cody Arnold just said, "Is this true?" Because I don't. You guys know the seating better than I. He says Foley and Schrader could be the 8 and 9 seeds at Big Tens, and they were the 2 and 3 ranked guys in the country coming in. Is that true?
I would need to look at.
Oh, that seems like it could definitely be true. And it's definitely true that they were the 2 and 3 guys to start the season. It's also definitely true that, I could totally see
What's
that.
Rayvon Foley's record this year? Rayvon Foley is 4 and 3.
Yeah.
Lost to Liam Cronin, lost to Heinzman, lost to McKee. Yeah, he could be down there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so 25 is sort of a mess. Many of these weights are kind of a mess. But I don't know. I think there's a little separation there. Maybe not. We'll see. It's an interesting. I mean, listen. Here's what could be the mega tier. Latono, Camacho, Courtney, Teskey, Hildebrandt, Lamont, Cronin, Heinzman, Barnett, McKee, Foley, Schroeder. Can we at least allow some separation after that point? The D'Agostino, Curry, Cardani, Werner, Hudkins, Russell, Robbie Howard tier. Please. Would you indulge me that? Or are you just saying everyone?
I'll indulge you.
Okay.
You know what I'm mind blown by? I did not realize Kurt McHenry had wrestled this year, and he wrestled 2 matches.
Kurt McDirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be the
Wow.
guy. I don't think he can beat Medley.
Man, he needs to get bigger because remember how good he was in high school? Is it he's not getting better, or is he just really that small, legitimately?
He's legitimately that small.
He's that small. They make him. I think if he doesn't weigh enough.
Last year, he wasn't allowed to practice unless he weighed a certain amount.
Jeez.
He's a
Wow.
little guy. Yeah, I don't know.
So crazy.
I don't advocate PEDs, but he should get it not on PEDs. But
I think it's legal. I think it's legal when you're that small.
Really?
Yeah, you can probably get
Some HGH.
doctors prescribed All
Right.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
it.
Do it under
Do it.
medical advisement, but
Yeah.
just be a big 25. What if he got to be like a 57 pounder? He's like, went overboard. Could happen. You never know. All right, so we should do a few questions before we get out of here. I haven't even got to really look at it. Folk style rules blow says.
Hey, that's almost a swear right there, Christian.
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
worse than the word I said. I'm not going to say it now again, and you're going to get mad at me. But it's worse than the word I said.
You know what? You're right. I just read it. I didn't even think. I Ron Burgundied that one. So I apologize. Does Kalo coach Clemson a snow cone or a real ice cream cone for bringing 2 heavyweights on a road trip for Kerkvliet to Penn tonight? At least some ice cream. I mean, listen, I'm about to go to war against snow cones because they're trash. Snow cones are terrible.
Snow cones suck. They do.
Why would that be something you'd want? I mean, listen, I get it when you're
I have no
8, just
idea.
get ice covered in syrup. Okay, sure. But smoothies exist. Milkshakes exist.
I will take a snow cone over a smoothie.
Oh my
No
gosh.
way.
Are you crazy?
You're just eating snow because all the syrup goes to the bottom,
It goes to
and
the
it
gross.
gets sticky.
That's why you
it's a
mix it.
situation.
That's why you mix it up. You don't just sit there and.
Mix it up.
Yeah,
and
mix
then
it up.
How you mix it? You got
With your finger?
Well, you eat a little bit off, then you mix it up. There's a time and place for them.
No,
There's no
Cracky.
time, no place.
Let's
There
get to
absolutely
serious
is.
questions.
No, there is
This
a time and place
shenanigans.
for him. 1981.
1981. That's a great
That was a
time.
great time
place.
for snow cones.
They hadn't invented smoothies at that
Yes.
point, and we were
Blenders weren't what they are now.
Yeah. I could. We could doctor up some sort of smoothie you would prefer over maybe there'd be Coke in it or Dr. Pepper and a Monster and a banana.
I've had cherry cola snow cones before. Lemon lime is great.
Now you're not confusing a snow cone with a Slurpee, right?
I'm
'Cause
not.
Or
I-
a slushy. Or a slushy.
I'm
That's
not.
a different thing.
Slurpees are head and shoulders above snow cones.
And slushy.
Okay. Yeah, I do like Slurpees. Okay, but yeah, to the actual question, he owes him a real ice cream cone for bringing 2
Yes.
heavyweights for Kerkvliet to Penn.
It was more than that.
Okay.
Couple Bitcoin, maybe.
He ought to toss him a Verclaren and
Yeah.
Bo
That
Pfeiffer.
there's the idea right there.
It's
Nice work.
listen, free trade here. It's I let you pin my guys.
Luke Gardner.
Give me Luke Gardner.
Yeah.
You gotta make him transfer. He lives here now.
Yeah. Sign him away.
If Gable never wins a championship, does he go down as the best to never get one? Say he goes 2-2-2, then leaves for WWE.
Gable's gonna win.
You're that sure?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Gable's
too.
winning.
But I'm always sure he's going to win, but he didn't. I was sure he's going to win NCAAs as a freshman. I was sure
He only had one chance. He had one chance so far. For God's sakes, people.
I was sure he's going to win Final X.
He would have won last year.
I was not sure he was going to win Final X. I think I picked.
Well, not sure. I mean, not sure, but I picked him.
But answer the question.
Yeah.
He's not. No, I refuse because the question's
Don't
dumb.
refuse. It's a hypothetical world here, Ben.
Stupid.
Yeah, you're right,
Stupid.
Ollie.
Come on, man. Don't be like that.
All right. Yeah, I think he would absolutely go down as one of the best to never win it.
But the best?
Yeah, the best.
You'll go and set it.
I'll say it.
You know what? He's the best because you know what? He's going to win an NCAA title, and this question's stupid. That's why he's the best.
It's not stupid. Mason Paris is really, really good.
It's not
I'll
a
ask
stupid
you a better
question.
question. You ready for a better question, Christian?
Okay.
If Mason Paris never wins an NCAA title because he loses to Gable every year, is he the best to never win? That's a better question.
He has to fight Adam Kuhn for that battle.
Does that mean Conan Jennings is the best to never win?
Yeah, Conan Jennings is the best to never win.
Stop.
Hold on. Spay and I were
love
joking
Conan.
around, I think, one time. And we were like, what if like Mason Paris goes on and he
Brad
wins
Dillon.
He wins like
We're back to that.
Chris Ayers.
What if Mason Paris goes on and wins like world title, Olympic title, something like that, and Conan Jennings is just like sitting there like telling people he's like, I never lost to that guy.
Never.
People are like, Conan, shut up. No, you didn't. Like that didn't happen.
I swear. It happened.
It happened.
They snacking. Yeah, that's the thing. What if he just shows up to like US Open just to like on a vision quest to take out Mason Paris? The problem is he probably
Dave
couldn't
Esposito.
Okay. Does Aaron Brooks have a shot at 5 NCAA titles? No. Because he wrestled last year.
Right.
If this were his true freshman year, he would have a shot. He has a shot at 4. He has a shot at 5 Big Ten titles, but he is mathematically eliminated from winning 5. He will have to settle for 4 if he's able to do that, which I do think he will win this year.
Rob Roan.
This is never ending.
Rob Roan. The great man. I don't know. I can't tell you how many times I watched him hit that cement mixer against Josh Lambrecht. I just thought that was the craziest thing ever. Like
That was
what?
pretty crazy.
I mean, well, you know what I watched most about that match? The tilts that Lambrecht was hitting. I was like, how is he making this look so incredibly? What is he doing that he's just like, well, just get in the wrist and 2-on-1 and near fall, no problem at all. He's gonna tech this dude for sure. Like that was a tilting display, and then the mixer. You haven't watched that? That's a YouTube
Classic.
playlist must watch. Like that was one of the first matches I saw on YouTube back in the day. Great one. Okay.
Bro, I just squished a stink bug and it like stinks. I didn't realize it. I squished like 100 stink bugs this winter. They never stink. I just squished this one. It stinks. Smell my finger piles. It stinks.
What's wrong with you?
How many bugs do you got crawling around?
Listen, you need an exterminator?
I'll show you. I'm gonna pick it up. I threw it in the garbage. I'm gonna pick it up.
You're gonna pick it up?
I don't really wanna
pick
see
it up.
it.
What are you doing?
What are you
This-
doing?
this
Don't
right
pick
here.
up the stinky bug.
This is a stink bug.
Yeah,
right
I
here.
know.
You see this?
They
That's a stink bug.
yeah, we
Yeah.
know.
I just
I know.
squished it. But usually
Eat
they
it.
don't stink.
That's
This
what-
one, it smells the
smell
whole
like?
room. I can barely focus anymore.
That's
What's it
what
smell like?
that's what Sebastian Rivera blows up like in the off season.
He said he blows up like a stink bug. In Virginia, there's like a couple summers where stink bugs were just out of control there. We don't have them here in Texas.
They really stink?
They really stink.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of these things.
Yeah, you probably.
I've never smelled it before. I've killed like 100 of them.
This is crazy to me.
I've killed many, but I just flick them.
Travis Frick.
Pop, pop. Oh my gosh.
What's it smell like?
It's kind of a musty sort
Like-
of.
Yeah, it's not good. Hard to describe.
It's not good. Yeah, an unfortunate bug. Listen, it's we did the best we could today. We appreciate you guys listening. We'll be back tomorrow. We got more tier discussion to have. Maybe we'll further solidify, our 125 tiers. Thanks to Ollie for coming on, even though these guys are wearing hockey sweaters. It's
Hockey
Hockey Sweater Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Thank you for having me.
Hockey
You
Sweater
guys are good
Tuesday.
people.
Thanks
a
to
thing.
Ben. Thanks to you especially. This could be a fire month in wrestling. Oh my gosh. Conference, PIAAs, NCAAs, last chance, Olympic trials. It's going to be fun.
Elliot Riddick.
Elliot Riddick. Let's go.
Yazzo!
Kennedy. Joe, what was his name? Joe Kennedy? There was a Kennedy.
Oh god.
He was like a one-
Let's just go
197.
now. You can't even
Yeah,
remember
we'll go
this
now.
guy.
Yeah, we
You
need
kind
to
of
go.
ruined it,
You
CP.
ruined it.
They had it on a good note.
Goodbye.